So we know the issues, we know about energy, we know about the border, we know Joe Biden doesn't know what he's doing. We know all that, we get all that. But why do this? Why do this here tonight with Legacy PAC? Because there's a whole lot of people who have the passion to save this country who need help getting off the ground.
The purpose of Legacy PAC is to save America. That's our mission. That's what we really want to do because America is worth saving.
I am by trade, I'm a cybersecurity engineer. Okay, so this is my first run in politics. We need more conservative Republicans standing up and fighting for the Constitution.
We're an America First PAC, and we want to promote and help our up-and-coming candidates, and we're going to be holding the line for President Trump.
I joined the Army at 17 years old. My first day at my first unit, which was 25th Infantry, was September 10th, 2001. So the next day was 9/11. And I spent about a total of a decade between Iraq and Afghanistan in country. So my country means everything to me. When I realized that if people like myself who don't want to be politicians don't start stepping up and taking these seats, that nothing's going to change, then I said, okay, I'll do it.
Who deserves to lead the people of this country more than those who serve this country? So I'm behind every one of them. So let's make sure we get more veterans into power. I'm all for it.
Remember why you're involved. We have to make sure people remain humble and not engage in self-glorification. You are here for one reason, and that is to save the country. Period. End of story.
And for those candidates who are looking uphill and wondering how, keep your head down, focus on the target, and outwork everybody. And I promise you, you're not gonna lose. You're either gonna win on election night or you change the game on election night. So God bless you guys. Thank you so much, Legacy PAC.
Thank you, Legacy PAC.
And Stan, where's Stan? Stan is with Veterans for Trump.
Thank you, Martha.
Thank you all. We're honored. I know there are so many organizations represented here today.
You're saying here too much, but you're going to do very well. And I just had somebody write down. First of all, James and Sarah Pritchard, thank you very much. Yes, great job. Thank you. We appreciate all the help. Stanley and Donna Fitzgerald.
Right here, sir.
Thank you very much. It's great. It's great that you're with us. Mike Acton.
Hi, this is Stan Fitzgerald with Veterans for Trump, and I'm here with Chris Rose, who's running for Senate in West Virginia. How are you today, brother?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing okay. Thanks, Chris. Chris, can you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself and your background?
Yes, sir. I'm a fourth generation West Virginia coal miner, sixth generation West Virginian, a blue collar conservative who is stepping up to the plate to be the next state senator for District 2. And before my candidacy, I worked in the mining industry for 12 years. I worked my way up from a general laborer, working with my hands, building things, repairing things with my hands, running the equipment that produces the coal, and then moving over to being an electrician and fixed it up into mine management. Towards the end of my mining career, I was part of a management team that managed hundreds of millions of dollars in a budget, and we were able to keep our mine open despite Obama and Biden's war on coal. And now I work for the power utility as a controls technician at substations. So I'm the one that maintains and calibrates and does maintenance work on a lot of the monitoring equipment at substations to help keep our lights on and keep everybody powered up. And outside of that, I started my political activity with the Tea Party. I was a regional field director and a volunteer for them for many years. Helping getting people like Congressman Alex Mooney elected, Ron Johnson, Mike Lee, some great conservatives like that. And I joined President Trump's presidential campaign in 2015. So I was, part of the MAGA movement before it was cool, so to speak. I was one of the ones that just bought into it day one and, wanted to help get him elected because, I was just agreeing. He was saying what we were thinking. And I helped him in West Virginia in 2015 and 2016. And then in Ohio and Pennsylvania in 2020, because let's face it, he's doing very good here in West Virginia. So we focused our efforts in Pennsylvania and Ohio. And then after that, I went on to help with Stop the Steal, because we all seen what happened with the stolen election in 2020, and we don't have enough people wanting to talk about it. And that's one of the reasons why I'm running. You'll be hard pressed to find a candidate in the state of West Virginia, which is MAGA country, it's Trump country, right? You would think we would want to lead the way on election integrity. I'm one of the very few that's even running, that's even talking about it. So, I mean, as someone who's seen what happened with the stolen election and actually spoke out against it and helped work fight against it, I understand how important that is. So that's a little bit about my political background as well. I'm an avid hunter and a fisherman, lifetime member of the NRA, member of Gun Owners of America. Second Amendment shall not be infringed. I take it very seriously. And, I'm happily married, been married for over 10 years. So I'm a Christian, I'm a conservative. I have those family values that I want to champion in Charleston, like many West Virginians. We call them West Virginia values here. And we need people that's willing to step up and defend those, because quite frankly, we have too many people elected, even as Republicans, who aren't defending those values and standing up for what's right.
And Chris, along that lines, I understand West Virginia is Trump country, and West Virginia relies on coal. You are going up against an incumbent who has some policies that your governor backed, who apparently never really did switch to be a Republican. And can you tell us a little bit about what happened there in West Virginia that people across the country might not be aware of, and especially with the person you're trying to unseat?
Absolutely. So State Senate District 2 in West Virginia, we call it the Energy District. There's more coal and gas being produced in this State Senate District than most of the state combined. We are the Energy District. We are the pocket and the energy hub for the state. And what's happening is we have a state senator who is voting to subsidize the Green New Deal. It started in 2017. Excuse me. It started in 2017. He passed some legislation to subsidize people building solar panels. And then in 2019, he passed some other legislation again that funded wind and solar farms by forcing an extra tax on our power bills each month. And then in the last session this year, they passed House Bill 2882, which we call the West Virginia Green New Deal, because Jim Justice, our governor, Mike Maroney, the RINO senator that I'm running to replace, they brought Bill Gates to West Virginia. They brought his woke ideas of the Green New Deal here and sold it to our legislature to give Bill Gates $300 million of our tax dollars. Think about that, folks. One of the richest people on the planet needed $300 million of our tax dollars that was generated from jobs in coal, oil, and gas to try to destroy those jobs with the Green New Deal. Who would ever think that something like this would pass in West Virginia? And that's why these races are so important. And I'll tell anyone around the country that's watching this, that's why these races matter. As much as you need a Wendy Rogers fighting for election integrity in Arizona, you need people like me fighting back against the Green New Deal that has brought its war to West Virginia.
Absolutely, Chris. And we got to have you, a future MAGA senator in West Virginia, get this RINO the hell out. Chris, a lot's going on in the world right now, and I know sometimes it doesn't really affect the states, but can you comment on the war in Israel and what's going on there, what your thoughts are?
Absolutely. I am very disgusted at how this war in Israel was funded. Folks, if you don't know, Hamas got this money from Iran, and Iran got this money from our federal government due to the incompetency of the Biden administration. So Biden wants to sit here and put out a tweet and a post saying he stands with Israel and that there's no room for terrorism. But there's also no room for this type of weak leadership that bends its knee to radical Islamic terrorists and actually gives them money to try to appease them. Obama did it. It didn't work. They tried this whole, nuke peace deal. It didn't work. They took our money. They laughed at us and they kept building their nukes. Biden gives them $6 billion. What do? They funnel it through Hamas. To now, American civilians are even being killed over there, folks. Israel is one of our longest allies, and I know we want to put America first. I get it. I'm as much as disgusted as everyone else with the money that we've wasted in Ukraine funding this proxy war against Russia. But we're talking about Israel. We're talking about a fellow Judeo-Christian nation that's being under attack with our tax dollars. Make no mistake about it. Iran did it. Hamas did it. They're very evil, radical Islamic terrorists. But guess what, folks? Our tax dollars is on the hook here. That's what we're going up against. And we have to stand with Israel, because if we don't stand up with other Judeo-Christian nations, it'll be us tomorrow. And what happened in Israel and with how they snuck in and how this all happened without their intelligence agencies picking it up, folks, we have the same problem that's going to happen here. It's called our southern border. And if you don't have a state representative or state senator understands that we're all now border states with all these military-aged men coming into our country and all the fentanyl that China and the drug cartels are pumping into our country and killing our children, then you don't need to vote for them. You need someone who understands we are in a war to secure our southern border. And if we don't do that, what happened in Israel will happen here.
Agreed. And lastly, in closing, the weaponization of law enforcement against conservatives, it's not just at the federal level. Here in my state, in Georgia, we have a political persecution, and it could happen in West Virginia. So can you comment on President Trump and so many others being indicted on what appears to be clearly political, made-up bullshit?
No, absolutely. And this one kind of hits home for me because Colton McAbee just got sentenced yesterday in a very unjust sentencing. And I know his wife, Sarah, very well because I know the real J6 organization. I'm the only candidate in the country outside of President Trump they've actually even endorsed for office. And J6 was a setup. It was an inside job. And the political persecution that you're seeing go on today with Trump, it started with it happening to the J6ers. You know, a good friend of mine that's running for Congress named Derek Evans is one of those that spent 3 months in prison for this very issue. And now he can't even vote for himself. Think about that. A congressional candidate can't even vote for himself for peacefully protesting a stolen election. They went after the J6ers. They went after Steve Bannon. They went after Marjorie Taylor Greene. And now they're going after Trump, all because they're standing in the way of this tyranny and fighting back. It's all it is, folks. They're just wanting free and fair elections. These people want to put you first. And that's their crime, putting America first, loving their country, not wanting China and Russia and the Democrats to be able to influence these elections with mass mail-in ballots and these, Dominion voting machines. They're just wanting to defend the same country our founding fathers created. That's their crime, loving America. And we have to end this weaponization of government. And, whether it be the, defunding the FBI, defunding the CIA, or even some of your state agencies that are now like in Georgia, like Fulton County, Georgia, this is disgusting what's going on over there. We have to fight back against this. The government should never be used as a political weapon against your opponent. It's disgusting. This stuff only happens in a banana republic. And if we don't make a stand here and now in the 24 election, it may be too late going forward.
Well, I do agree. Chris, I want to thank you for coming on. And you were with the 2015-16 Trump campaign. You worked with the Tea Party and Stop the Steal. You are clearly a MAGA candidate trying to unseat the establishment. So you have our full endorsement, I'm able to announce here today.
Thank you. I'm very honored with that. I mean, I know that you guys don't give them out freely. I know you guys vet people very strongly. So it's truly an honor. And I will do my best to live up to that endorsement and make you guys very proud.
Thank you, sir. And we will talk again soon.
All right. Sounds good. I appreciate it.